my testimony, everybody. How God.
My name is Hutchison, and my shining moment in the dark started as a young girl when my parents were told that I would either end up dead or in jail. There were a lot of things missing in my life. My parents weren't together. I experienced domestic violence. I experienced drug abuse with my parents. And as I got older, I craved attention. And the way that I craved attention was by lashing out because I was so angry. I was my mom's only child. As I got older, my father had another child and I had a sibling. And at that point, I had to realize that I had to try to get my life together and set an example for her. In between all that, I thank God. My mother's father was a minister, and he founded a church in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, which is still here today, Antioch Baptist Church. He passed in 2002, 5 months after my daughter was born. I battled with self-esteem. I battled still with anger, and I couldn't understand why I could not get myself together. I battled with careers, what I wanted to do with myself. I battled with domestic violence in relationships that I were in, abusive relationships, verbally, mentally, physically. I've also battled with anxiety, depression, and a lot of different things that people never knew that I dealt with. I'm now 33 years old, and maybe about a year ago is when I really found myself and found my happiness and became happy with myself because of me. I will walk around and try to find my happiness, or try to figure out why my relationships wouldn't work, or try to figure out why this idea wouldn't work. It was because I wasn't happy with myself. It was because I didn't have God completely in my life. Even through the midst of all the domestic and the drugs and the things that I went through as growing up, my grandfather still instilled these things in me. Well, my grandparents instilled these things in me. And as I got older, I had to realize that I had a young daughter to raise. Everything that I do, she watches. And I had to make that choice for her to be better than me, for her to get to have way more experiences growing up as I did as a child. I went through losing a job, 2 years going without working, living off of a savings, having to go through the system for assistance, food stamps, housing assistance, all kinds of things in order to get to the next point. And I finally decided this isn't the life that I want for me and my daughter. I have to do better. I went back to school full time, living paycheck to paycheck, still going through the system and struggling. My grandmother, my mom, my father, my family, they helped me along the way financially, physically with my daughter. And I finished school and decided to change my career. Once I lost my job, it was a very, 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 very depressing and hard point for me. And I kind of went backwards. I went to the partying, the drinking, and all kinds of negative things where I had to once again snap back into place and realize this isn't the life for me. About 2 years ago, after completing school for being a licensed esthetician, I got the opportunity from a good girlfriend of mine to introduce my business down in Miami, Florida. Back and forth traveling and making my business grow. In the midst of all that, August 13th of 2013, at 3:38 in the morning, my life flashed before my eyes when all I heard was my daughter scream. Our condo caught on fire. And immediately I just sat there. There was nothing I could do. We didn't lose everything, thank God, and we had insurance. For the next 5 months, we lived at the National Harbor in a hotel. And I battled with going backwards again. The business space that I had to give up. I had to make some very, very hard decisions within this time frame. but I refused to give up. I had friends encourage me, I had family encourage me, and I decided that it was time for me to get back into church, get back into the Word, and not to give up, and not to let the devil bring me backwards. It's now 2014, and I'm proud to say I have a high honor student who has the experience to travel to Europe, and I have my own business. I'm a licensed esthetician, and I own a spa in Clinton, Maryland, and I'm just happy to be moving forward. A lot of these things came from battling with self-esteem. I didn't know what I wanted because I was worried about what the next person thought about me. I was worried about a relationship that I was in and why I was cheated on, or why I wasn't good enough for that person. And I had to seek God and realize that if you don't love yourself, how can you allow someone else to love you? And then when you have such a wonderful daughter who is totally opposite of you, who's into her grades, she's a drama major, she's very outgoing, to look at you every day and tell you that she appreciates the hard work that you do for her makes a total difference. Loving yourself, look in the mirror. I write down affirmations. I have them pasted all over the place. I always carry a journal with me. Any thoughts, any ideas, I write them down. I encourage young women, you don't have to dress half naked to get attention. Love yourself. Be in love with yourself. Find God. Don't let anybody else tell you different. Don't let anybody else's negativity bring you down. Do whatever it is. No dream is too small. Write your goals down, because anything can be achieved. If you said you wanted to go to the moon, you write that down, and don't think that your dream is too big. Don't let anyone tell you that your dreams are too small. I've seen so many people around me, so many good friends around me flourish, who were just like me, started from nothing but refused to give up. And that's where I am now. I'm 33 years old, and I refuse to give up. And I just want to say, love yourself, love God, and once again, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Philippians 4:13 is the best scripture that you can ever have. If you don't have anything else written down, make sure you have that written down.
And I know you favored me because my enemies, they did try, but they couldn't triumph.